Greetings everyone, I am the Teeworldsfreak and this is Weapons of Kyrat. Today we will talk about one of the most feared weapons of the 1990s, the Tech-9. The Tech-9 in Far Cry 4, called A99, is based on the MP9, which is originating from Sweden. It was developed and built by Interdynamic. Their goal was to design a cheap to produce and easy to use machine pistol. The production started in 1983, but it did not last very long. It stopped nearly a year later in 1984. So Interdynamics decided to redesign their existing submachine gun into a semi-auto only pistol. This version was then sold on the US market as the KG9 pistol under their new name Interdynamic of America. With the new name, Interdynamic then moved to Miami, Florida. Production stopped after around 3,500 KG9 pistols were produced. The ATF had declared the pistol as a machine gun because it was easy to convert into a fully automatic machine gun. Interdynamic then came up with a new design, the KG99 pistol. This pistol now shoots from the closed bolt position, negating this problem. One very interesting aspect about those pistols was the way they were promoted. For these pistols, Interdynamic came up with a completely new term, the assault pistol. They told their customers that they get all the benefits from a small subgun in a semi-automatic pistol, all in one package. They even sold separate pistol grips that could be attached underneath the barrel, just like the original MP9 one. After several sues, because of the mass shootings this gun was used for, Interdynamic of America went bankrupt and reunited as Intratec. Then they redesigned the KG99 pistol into the well-known Tech-9. Even minimum variants were produced. Because of several sues, Intratec had then to rename and redesign the Tech-9 pistol several times. In 2001, the company went out of business and the production of the Tech-9 series of pistol ceased. From the technical point of view, this gun is pretty simple. It uses a metal tube as the upper receiver, the lower is built from cheap polymer, and the magazines are small, cut-out metal plates wrapped together. The design is similar to a Sten gun, which was the British go-to SMG of World War II. It shoots, like most SMGs of this time, the 9mm Parabellum cartridge out of a 127mm long barrel. It weighs about 1.5 kg unloaded and has an overall length of 317mm. The pistol could be bought with a threaded barrel, which could be used to mount muzzle devices or suppressors. Also, the famous assault grip could be bought as a separate part. Magazines were built in several configurations, like 10, 20, 32 or 50 rounds. The 32 rounder was the standard magazine size that came with the gun. The first guns were built with higher quality techniques than the later ones. Most metal parts of the first two models were produced with milling techniques, but the later models used stamped and welded parts. All magazines were built from stamped sheet metal parts. Later produced magazines had looser tolerances than the first versions. The KG9 pistol used an open bolt design, therefore the firing pin was permanently mounted on the bolt face. Later, closed bolt models use firing pins which tend to break. Even the polymer lower could break on these guns if high pressure ammunition was used, so-called plus P or plus P plus rounds. 115 grain full metal jacket bullets should work fine in these guns. This was also mentioned in the manual. Because this gun was designed to be as cheap and as easy to build as possible, the trigger mechanism could easily be converted to fire full auto on the first models. Only a little sheet metal part prevented the gun from firing fully automatic. Interdynamic of America and later Intratec had to rename and redesign their pistol quite often because of several bans. Thus, there are many different variants. The KG9 was the first version. It uses the same open bolt action as its bigger brother, the MP9. Most of the parts could be swapped between both versions. Even the same front grip could be bought and attached. Then Introtech came up with the KG99 pistol. This version was essentially the same as the KG9, but with one major difference. It now shoots from the closed bolt position. Like the KG9, parts could be swapped with the MP9. Introtech's first pistol was the newly redesigned Tech 9. It now uses stamp and welding techniques instead of milling. This did cut the production price, but also the quality of the guns. The magazines of the KG9 and KG99 pistols could still be used. Another sue, another ban, and the government started to name ban several guns. The Tech 9 pistol was one of them. Introtech came up with a new name for their beloved pistol, Tech 9 DC9. DC standing for Designed for California. The Tech 9 and the Tech 9 DC9 are essentially the same weapons, just with a different printed name on them. Therefore, exchanging parts between both models is not an issue. The last version sold was the AB10, because yet another ban occurred. Even the name is referring to it, because AB stands for After Ban. This version was only sold as the mini version, but lacking the threaded barrel and limiting its magazine size to 10 rounds. Magazines from the previous generation of firearms could still be used in the AB10. The version seen in-game is the Tech 9 DC9 pistol. The name is probably referring to the KG9 series of pistols. But the version in-game is not a 1-to-1 copy of the real-life gun. The lower receiver markings are incomplete. It seems like the safety is always on, because the cocking knob is pressed inwards. The third sling mount on the back of the lower is unnecessary, and a drum magazine was never produced for this gun. In Far Cry 4, the A99 is one of the last weapons to unlock, making it one of the more underused weapons. One of the big problems this gun has is that it uses pistol ammunition instead of SMG ammo. This leads to ammo shortages and empty magazines. Still, this weapon can be fired while driving, making it a great gun for vehicle takedowns. The usual attachments are available, from red dot sights over a suppressor and extended mags. You can even make yourself a yellow striped A99 if you want. This gun is perfect if you need something suppressed for CQC, but all the other slots are filled up with grenade launchers, assault rifles and bows. Its signature version, the Rebel, can be unlocked halfway through the game by clearing 10 outposts. The Rebel is fitted with a cheap red dot sight and extended magazine. This was the pilot episode of Weapons of Kyrat. In the next episode we will take on an American classic that is just as famous as Browning himself. A new episode should go live every Saturday evening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. I also try to read every comment I get, and I really like to read. Until next time, farewell.